Welcome to today's edition of the AI Eye, watching stock news, deal tracker, and advancements in artificial intelligence. Hello everyone, this is Sam Mowers here. Welcome to a special edition of the AI Eye podcast featuring an interview with Danny Rittman, the CTO of GTCH Technologies Inc. GTCH Technologies is a development stage company which considers itself a native IoT creator, developing Internet of Things and artificial intelligence-enabled mobile technology platforms. GTCH is traded on the OTC PINK under the ticker symbol GTCH. Now for this interview, Danny discusses the company's recently announced AI-empowered fintech patent application, as well as the broader state of AI in the fintech space. Without further ado, here is my conversation with Danny Rittman. Well, Danny, thanks again for joining us on the show here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So just before we get into the particulars of GBT's recent press release regarding its AI-empowered fintech patent application, let's just zoom out and look at the state of AI and fintech more generally. So for instance, research published by Reports and Data forecasts a global market value of 49.33 billion USD for AI and fintech by the year 2028. Could you give us an idea of some of the ways in which AI is already being employed in the financial technology space?
Well, the area of AI has been slowly invading into this area, I would say for the past decade or so. And as technology evolved, especially in the microchip arena, the microprocessors, GPUs, microcontrollers, basically any memories, any type of, I would say, integrated circuits, and its derivatives, AI will follow it. If it's specific chips for AI, if it's, for example, specific applications, devices, and of course going further into manufacturing as well. AI basically follow that one, and we will be able to see it as more as we see the technology and the big guys going towards these directions. You already see, for the past, I would say 5 or 10, almost past decades, we see microchip, especially microchip that are dedicated for if it's Intel, if it's IBM, any of the big guys basically that created this type of technology will be able to actually move forward with AI, towards this domain.
Now, GBT's patent application seeks to address credit card transaction decisions. Before you tell us how this technology is going to work, can you paint a picture of the credit card market and what sorts of problems this patent aims to solve?
Sure. This type of, AI basically is touching, a wide variety of domains in our lives. If it's automotive, if it's computing, if it's cybersecurity, medicine, name it, and it's there. One of the nicest, I would say, implementation of AI is into the financial area. Especially, if we're talking about the credit card and this type of specific patent that GBT filed, this is actually a quite innovative approach. It's a new method that we came with and said, we can take this artificial intelligence technology, analytics, and supervision overall, and implement it with a credit card domain. So credit card, as we know it of today, simple, typical person owns a few credit cards and uses them as, as desired, but it's hard to track, which card is used the best sometimes, which one gives you the best interest rate, which one gives you the best frequent flyer mileage, which one is giving you the best gift and benefits overall. Having an AI system as a financial advisor connected to, basically consolidate all credit cards into one account and do this selection for you can make a whole world of I would say, financial difference for people. It's going to automatically create on the fly the best, financial advisor, which card to use, in which time, in which occasion, which charge, in order to reach the best, the best for the user. of course, the AI also can navigate all the financial implication, how much credit you have on one card and the other and the third, consolidate into one account, use each one in the best way, the most efficient way, so interest, doesn't impact too hard for the user, etc. So it's a whole world of opportunities to implement an AI technology into the financial domain, into these people's credit accounts. And that's what the whole idea of this patent is.
And how does the AI technology in particular work in helping users make these decisions?
Well, the AI is constantly, I would say, monitored, supervised. So every transaction, it's connected to the credit card system. Any charge is going, the AI is informed about it, does the analytics per card, and by basically what we call intelligence, I would say, almost like reasoning, because the AI will study, will learn, since it has a deep learning mechanism, a user credit accounts. And as a human would do, when you go to use your card, you say, okay, that's how much I have on this one, that's how much impact I'll have when I'll use this card, I'll be charged more on interest. Then the AI will do it, will basically operate the same way. It will choose which account, which credit card to be used based on internal analytics that will be done over time. So as long, once the AI starts its study, okay, it's learning into the user credit accounts, it will know more and more with time which card to use when and how to the best interest of the user.
Now, alongside AI, blockchain is an incredibly fast-growing technology in the fintech space. Are we seeing, or do you expect to see overlap between AI and blockchain tech as the fintech market continues to evolve?
Absolutely. Especially when it comes to security. I mean, blockchain is one of the best methods today to do security, securing data. And that's where I predict, and we also, by the way, we're also using already blockchain's algorithm within this. The blockchain is already covered, by the way, in this patent as well. So it is already part of this patent. We use it, of course, to secure data, to manage data, to make sure and ensure, that everything is, privacy and security is ensured, especially with today's cybersecurity issues that evolving, as we speak. It is imperative to be use blockchain. There's no question about it. We covered it in the patent. We actually have our AI integrated and manage blockchain activities and algorithms, and it's going to be part of the overall technology we're going to develop in the future.
All right, Danny, that's all I have for questions, but is there anything you'd like to add about the company's patent application or indeed the space more broadly?
Thank you. Well, I mean, we covered all, but maybe one last word. We strongly believe that a combination of AI, blockchain, and other technologies in order to ensure financial, secure, private financial operations is something we'll have to evolve in the next decade or so. Now, using this patent, this patent we just filed is one of the implementations that we see of an AI combined with blockchain, combined with the microchip technology, and we definitely have plans to develop it further in the future, as we basically have a few domains that we implement our AI system, if it's in the radio, if it's in the cyber, if it's in communication, medicine, as you probably know, we are implementing strongly our artificial intelligence into the medicine, especially with the QTAM and other software and applications we're doing now. So also here in the financial domain, we do expect it to evolve during the next few years.
And that's it for today's AI. If you would like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, contact investorideas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the investorideas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded all investment involves risk and possible loss of investment. To hear more InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, please visit InvestorIdeas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and most audio platforms available. To learn more about GBT Technologies Inc., please visit gopherprotocol.com or visit the InvestorIdeas.com profile page at investorideas.com/co/GOPH. And for disclosure purposes, GBT Technologies is a PR news and social media featured company on InvestorIdeas.com.